Hey Fusion, by now you've probably heard that we're having this big announcement and the whole thing. Well, don't worry, Summer and I aren't pregnant, and it's not like we're leaving the ministry or anything. But we really feel like God's been speaking very loudly into the future of Fusion, and specifically the short-term future of Fusion and what we should be doing as a ministry. And to kind of rewind this thing, God's kind of been putting little hints inside prayer, little hints inside when I'm reading the scriptures and that type of stuff as to what we're going to be doing. And if you've been at Fusion long enough, then we're all about discipleship. We're all about just kind of taking people from people and turning them into followers of Jesus Christ, people who look like Jesus. And, I kind of made this vow with God a long time ago. I said, if that's us having 7 services a week, we'll do that. If it's us having 0 services a week, we'll do that. And so, we're here at Fusion, we're absolutely committed to doing whatever it takes to see our generation discipled. And so again, that's also playing into this decision of what we're doing, this big announcement. And we've been teaching over the past few weeks on the call, on this Matthew 28 call that Jesus gave to go and make disciples, to go and share this good news about Him, about Jesus, that it really is good news. We've been talking about becoming a disciple. We've been talking about going to share the good news. We've been talking about what it looks like to actually make a disciple. We've been talking about what it looks like to love people. And what I desire, and I truly believe what God desires, is to see our generation do that, to go and fulfill the Great Commission that is bigger than going to a church service, that is bigger than just saying a few words or slapping a Jesus bumper sticker on your car. It's about living a life. James even talks about that without your works, that your faith is dead. If we don't ever do anything with what we're hearing inside a church, then we're just kind of deceiving ourselves. And I feel like a lot of us are kind of like, I got this mental image the other day, that a lot of us are kind of like this jar that we're supposed to have, like Jesus says, streams of living water moving through us. But I feel like at some point along the line that kind of got plugged, and that it's just like the water's flowing over us, that nothing's moving through us. And I think that's what happens when we are active in sharing our faith, and when we are active in loving people and serving people, like Jesus tells us through the Great Commission. And I feel like what we need to do is somehow through Fusion figure out how to unplug that thing, uncork it, so that the water, that the life, that the good news can start moving through us. And so what we've kind of decided to do is what we're going to be doing is we're starting something called Fusion on Tour. And for June and July, we aren't going to be having any formal Fusion services, any Fusion gatherings. We're going to be starting back up on August 5th. But what that looks like is this. It's not like we're taking breaks. We're not just kicking back and enjoying the summer. We're actually probably going to be doing more. But what we have to realize is that our call is bigger than going to a church service. Maybe you just heard me say that we're not having a Fusion gathering, and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Well, that just says, hey man, you got to be in a small group. You got to be inside of a community that you can be sharing your life with, that you can be doing life with. And one of our motivators is something that Pastor Dennis used to say a lot. He said, we're way overeducated beyond our level of obedience, saying that we know way more than we're doing with it. And so that's why we're doing this. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this, is we're going to not be gathering corporately for 2 months during June and July, and we're going to be going and doing something with our faith. We're going to be having a lot of structured things as far as community-wide outreaches. Like on June 27th, we're going to be doing something where all of Fusion is going to go downtown and work with Atlanta Dream Center. That's just one of the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be having the S2S running, the Sunday to Sunday week-long outreaches. Those are going to be running. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that corporately, but we're also going to be doing a lot of stuff individual and privately. Things like, making your neighbor brownies, getting to know your neighbors, taking your coworker out to lunch, those type of things. And the message about that is going to be spread through text messages. And that's why it's so important that you get on our text messaging list. And to do that, what you need to do is text Fusionatl, just one word, Fusionatl, to 41411. Text that to the number right now, pull out your cell phone, 41411, and then type in Fusionatl and press send. And it'll get you on our text messaging list, where I can start, just kind of texting you thoughts, maybe once or twice a week, just to keep you in the loop on what's going on. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, Go to twitter.com/FusionATL. You can find us there. And of course, all this stuff is going to be on our website at fusionatl.org. So again, guys, I want to invite you to join us. This isn't just a kick back and relax during the summer. This is really engage in what God has for you and your community and your generation. And we're excited. We're along. We hope you're along for the journey, for the ride. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this at Fusion. If you really step back and look at it, it's like the complete anti-growth strategy. We're not having services for two months, but we believe in what God is calling us to do. And I want to invite you to join us and spreading the good news about Jesus and being a participant in the Great Commission and engaging your world with Jesus. Hope you're along for the ride.